Welcome back to Rev and Ride. Today we're breaking down the top 5 best beginner cruiser motorcycles. If you're new to riding and want something laid back, stylish, and beginner friendly, without the intimidating speed of sport bikes, this list is for you. From reliability to cool retro vibes, these cruisers are perfect for riders who just want to enjoy the ride. The first motorcycle on our list is the Honda Rebel 500. This model is Honda's mid-sized cruiser, sitting right between the 300 and 1100cc versions. Honda has been producing the Rebel lineup since 1985, originally starting with the Rebel 250, which was later replaced by the 300. The Rebel was designed to attract a younger audience into motorcycling, and Honda did a fantastic job. Its small stature and lightweight made it approachable and unintimidating for beginners. Many riders actually learned on a Rebel 250, often dropping it during their MSF course, a rite of passage for countless Rebels leaving the Honda factory. Following the success of the 250, and after experimenting with the Rebel 450 in the late 80s, Honda introduced the Rebel 500 in 2017. The 500 bumped displacement to 471cc in a liquid-cooled parallel twin engine while maintaining the relaxed cruiser geometry that smaller or newer riders love. With a 27-inch seat height, the Rebel 500 is perfect for shorter riders and short kings alike. It produces 47 horsepower and 33 lb-ft of torque, and with a curb weight of only 408 pounds, it strikes a balance between confidence and power. Its 6-speed transmission and 95 miles per hour top speed make it capable enough for city streets and even some highway cruising. Compared to the Rebel 300, the 500 offers a noticeable jump in power and usability, ensuring riders won't outgrow it too quickly. Unlike some entry-level motorcycles that cut corners on build quality, the Rebel 500 feels well finished, because after all, it's a Honda. It comes with premium touches you might not expect in a beginner bike. A sleek contemporary cruiser aesthetic with a blacked-out frame, engine, and wheels, plus LED lighting all around. Practical features include a slipper assist clutch for lighter clutch pulls, a modern digital speedometer with gear position indicator, and optional ABS for added safety. For those who prefer a retro-inspired look, Honda offers an SE trim with a diamond-stitched solo seat and a small quarter fairing. That trim adds just $500 to the base price, bringing it to $6,899, while the standard Rebel 500 starts at $6,399. A very reasonable entry-level price for a bike of this caliber. And since you'll be riding a cruiser, protecting your gear is essential. Cruisers vibrate, and you don't want your electronics or wallet bouncing out of your pockets. That's where Rockform comes in. Their motorcycle phone cases and handlebar mounts are some of the best in the business. Drop tested from 6 feet, durable, and available for both cruisers and sport bikes. Whether you're just cruising the boulevard or pulling an Evel Knievel stunt across the Grand Canyon, Rockform has you covered. Follow the link below and use the code YN25 to get 25% off your order. Click the link, enter the code, and grab the gear you need before your next ride. And before we move on to the next cruiser on our list, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more unbeatable motorcycle deals. The next motorcycle on our list of the best beginner cruisers is the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. The next motorcycle on our list of the best beginner cruisers is the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Now the Bolt has a bit more displacement than the Honda Rebel 500, but it's still a great entry point. It's ideal for riders who are a little older or just responsible enough to handle those extra cc's. Yamaha first released the Bolt in 2013. Over the years it came in a few trims, the base Bolt, the R-Spec, and even a scrambler version. Today it's only sold as the R-Spec, which Yamaha calls a performance bobber. Interesting choice of words. The design clearly pays homage to Harley-Davidson Sportster line. You get the stripped-down style, a solo seat, and an air-cooled 942cc V-twin. Performance-wise, the R-Spec puts out 69 horsepower and 59 pound-feet of torque. The bike weighs about 542 pounds, so yes, heavier than a Rebel, but still very manageable. The 27-inch seat height and low center of gravity from the V-twin help keep it friendly for newer riders. The Bolt keeps things simple, minimal tech, and analog feel, but with just enough modern touches to keep it smooth and reliable. You'll find dual piggyback shocks, 298mm floating brake rotors, and a digital LCD dash. At the same time, it nails that retro vibe with a teardrop gas tank, belt drive, mag wheels, and a classic headlight. Price? About $8,599 brand new. It's reliable, customizable, and fun to ride season after season. Definitely more than just a starter bike. Loving this one? Hold on, because the next motorcycle will blow you away. The Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Now let's get one thing straight. This isn't a full-on cruiser in the traditional sense. It's got mid-controls, flat handlebars, and a parallel twin engine. But make no mistake, in terms of intention, vibe, and riding style, it absolutely delivers that laid-back cruiser feel. This is a retro-styled machine built for city commuting and casual weekend backroad adventures. And get this, the Interceptor 650 in Canyon Red comes in at just $5,999. That makes it the most affordable motorcycle on our list. Now sure, you'll notice some budget parts, Bybri by Brembo brakes, seat tires, and non-adjustable forks. But here's the thing. This bike isn't chasing land speed records. These components don't kill the experience at all, and if you want, you can always upgrade them later. Under the tank, it's rocking an air-cooled 648cc parallel twin, pushing out 47 horsepower and 38 foot-pounds of torque. The power delivery is smooth and linear, and the 6-speed gearbox is buttery and balanced all the way through the rev range. Looks? This bike nails it. It's stylish, classic, and most people would never guess it costs nearly half of what some of the cruisers on this list go for. And speaking of Royal Enfield, they've seriously stepped up their game in the US lately. Build quality, reliability, attention to detail, it's all improving fast. That's exactly why we had to pick one up ourselves. Yep, you heard that right. We actually have a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650 in our beginner bike lineup right now, and if you think this one's cool, just wait. The next bike is even more exciting. Under the tank, it's rocking an air-cooled 648cc parallel twin, pushing out 47 horsepower and 38 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, let's talk about the Indian Scout 60. Indian has been building the Scout for over a century now. Yeah, more than 100 years. Which actually makes it just a bit older than Suzuki's DRZ400. But the version we have today has been around since 2015, after Polaris bought Indian and gave the Scout lineup a complete refresh. Back in the day, the Scout was one of the most popular motorcycles in America, right up until World War II. After that, Indian's legacy kind of faded. For decades, you'd see old Scouts being dragged out of barns or rusty junk heaps, usually by Mike Wolfe on American Pickers, instead of being seen tearing up the highway. But since Indian's revival, the Scout has come roaring back as one of the most iconic cruisers you can buy. And part of what makes the Scout special is that it's always been offered in different sizes and displacements. The Scout 60 keeps that tradition alive. It uses the exact same frame and geometry as the bigger Scout, but with a slightly smaller 1000cc, 60 cubic inch liquid-cooled V-twin. It's built for riders who want that Indian heritage but don't necessarily need the bigger power plant or the bigger price tag. Now let's be clear, the Scout 60 isn't really the best option if you're a brand new rider or if you're working with a super tight budget. From the factory, the Scout 60 comes in at $10,749. It cranks out 78 horsepower and 65 foot-pounds of torque, which is plenty of grunt for cruising or even some spirited riding. At 543 pounds curb weight, it's definitely not light, but thanks to its 26-inch seat height, pretty much anyone can swing a leg over it and feel comfortable. Style-wise, the current Scout draws heavily from the original. You get that curved gas tank, forward controls, a solo seat, pulled-back bars, and of course the 130mm front tire, which has become one of the Scout's instantly recognizable features. On the tech and hardware side, you've got a 299mm front brake disc with dual piston calipers, a single piston caliper in the rear, preload adjustable shocks, and a digital dash with both a tach and speedometer. It doesn't go overboard with rider aids or electronics, which honestly fits the character of the bike. But if you want ABS, it's available from Indian for an extra $900. Now, compared to the standard Scout, the big difference here is the engine, 1000cc versus 1130cc, and the transmission. The Scout 60 comes with a 5-speed gearbox instead of a 6-speed. Aside from that, it's nearly identical to the bigger model, which makes it one of the most well-put-together and best-balanced bikes in its class. The last bike on our list is the Harley-Davidson Sportster Iron 883. Honestly, it's hard to make a cruiser video and not mention Harley. Like Indian, Harley has been building the Sportster for decades, and it's become the go-to entry-level cruiser for riders who want a real bike. Ignoring the newer Sportster S and Nightster models, the Sportster has stayed mostly true to its roots since the 1980s. Today, it comes with a 5-speed transmission, fuel injection, and more stylish looks. But it's still very much a classic. The Iron 883 is beginner-friendly in almost every way. Except for its price tag of around $11,249 brand new. The good news? These bikes are often someone's first Harley before they move up to a Softail or bagger, so low-mileage used models are easy to find. The 1200cc version is also a solid option if you want a bit more power. Speaking of power, the Iron 883 packs an 883cc air-cooled V-twin, producing about 50 horsepower and 54 lb-ft of torque, weighing 564 pounds wet. Sportsters are legendary for customization. With a massive aftermarket, you can upgrade nearly anything on the Iron 883, and while it's a bit heavy and slightly underpowered stock, it handles surprisingly well for a cruiser. Thanks to its low center of gravity, narrow frame, and midfoot controls, it's easy to ride. And while you'll enjoy its 27 degrees of lean angle, the only thing you might drag are some leather tassels. Fun fact, water sounds different depending on temperature. Warm water has energized molecules, making it thinner, which creates a higher-pitched pour than cold water. Weird, right? And that wraps up our top 5 best beginner cruisers. Did we miss a bike that should have made the list? Drop it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more motorcycle content, and ride safe. See you in the next one.